Hey everyone, this is Judi with JLBCrafts. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. In this video, I'm going to be setting up and hand lettering for the week of January 10th through the 16th in my Lovely Letters planner. Of course, I'm going to be following my challenge, the Big Love Letters Challenge. We're doing the letter E this week, which I accidentally wrote an E last week. It's very similar to the C. You just close that top loop a little bit. So let's get started. I am going to do something I did this past week in my dashboard planner. Well, I guess that video is going to post the day before this one. So if you're watching this on Sunday, it posted Saturday. I'm going to take this really wide washi tape, which has lots of pine cones and a little kind of winter greenery, and I'm just going to put it over and over again down the center, and maybe I will even cut it in half and put it across the top. And then after I get some of this laid down, I want to see how it looks. I've pulled 3 potential washis, a kind of a gray green, a true green, and a kind of a brownish to go along the skinny edge. So I'm going to get started on all that. Feel free to fast forward for the next couple of minutes if you don't want to see this part, which totally is fine. And then I'm going to pick, I think I'm looking forward to some green and brown pens with this one. So all right, and then I think for bullet points, I pulled my big bullet point book. I will link in the description box, or I'm sorry, in the cards up above, how I made this. Just anytime I came across a book, any book, Happy Planner or American Crafts, whatever, that had a full page of bullets, I went ahead and pulled it out and made this combined book. So I'm going to use these kind of olive earthy green ones, I think. For this, I think I'll use these little asterisks. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and write in the assignments. So a couple notes about the assignments, a couple questions have come up. You'll notice January 31st isn't on here, and that's because these days are the days that are included in the January tab, the month tab in your planner. So of course we have these from December, because the first week in January in your Lovely Letters planner includes these days, and then the 31st is not on here because it falls in the February month in your planner, in your Lovely Letters planner. So those of you who are using just like notebook paper or the elementary school Learn to Write paper or just ruled paper, you wouldn't know that, but the days on here are what fall within the January tab in the Lovely Letters planner. So if that was confusing, I apologize. All right, so we're going to start with a wave drill. That'll help us warm up. And then we're going to go to last week's letter. Since we're just learning letters, I feel like we need a little more repetition. So things will shift to, you'll already see the drills are kind of falling off as we learn more letters. And then we'll get to the point where we're only practicing our newest letter and then all words, because I definitely include all the letters we've already learned in the words, so we're getting enough practice that we don't need to go back and spend an entire day practicing just the letter. We'll get to just the new letter and then a bunch of words. All right, so we're going to go to last week's letter, which was letter C, lowercase, and then we'll do the new letter, letter E. Okay, and then we'll start with our words. So we're going to have a word that starts with the new letter, a word that ends with the new letter, and a word that has the new letter in the middle. So our first word is echo, starting with our E, but definitely has a C, and the other letter we've already learned, which is the O. Co, CEO, which isn't a word per se, it's more of an acronym or an abbreviation, but that's okay. And these words are somewhat the same as last year if you followed this challenge in 2021, but we will diversify as we go on and learn more letters, and I have more word options available to me. So there we go. I am all set up and ready to go. I need to pick some pens, and I will zoom in and be right back. Alright, so I had so much fun picking these pens, you guys. Green's my favorite color, and I just love earth tones. So I have the brown Tombow Fudenosuke. I have the moss green Calliograph, which is kind of a gray green, like the washi type I ended up going with over here on the edge. I have the light brown Pentel Touch Brush Sign Pen. And then I have a new one I haven't showed you guys yet. I showed it a lot last year, the Writech, W-R-I-T-E-C-H. Again, all of these are linked. Sign brush pen, it says. All of these are linked in the description box. I get a lot of them off of Amazon. Another good website for pens is Jet Pens. They have a YouTube channel and they do a lot of reviews, and I really like Jet Pens. So, all right. So we are going to start with the wave drill. And I noticed, thank you all so much for tagging me in your, especially in your Instagram posts. I see those a lot. Great job. I saw a lot of people doing some wave drills that were double high and some wave drills that were half high. Absolutely. Keep doing that. Make it your own. Some letters are double high, some letters aren't. So whatever works for you. So choking way up on our pens. Turning our paper, our natural inclination is to write vertically. Hi, Jazzy. So you turn your pen to stick with your natural inclination to write vertically, but that automatically gives you the slant. That is pretty typical with a lot of hand lettering. So choking up, paper turned, light up, say it in your head, light up, heavy down. Eventually you won't need to, your muscle memory will get there. So light up, heavy down, push hard, light up. Jazpur's going to be interesting today, you guys. I can already tell. I might have to stop and go give him lunch. So we're learning many things here, and now that you guys have started practicing your understanding, this is helping us figure out where, as we come into or out of a curve, where to start changing our pressure. I saw a lot of folks had issues where they had a pretty abrupt change right there, almost like falling off a step. I had that problem last year too, you guys. At the end of the video, when I compared this year to last year, I'll see if I can find a spot and point it out to you. But it just don't get frustrated. It will come with time, okay? So choking way up on my pen, and I'll switch to the fat end with this one as I have been. And if you don't like wave drills, guys, I think this might be the last time we're doing them. They're not my favorite either, because since it's a long continuous line, it's not as realistic as actually writing words. It makes it hard to pick a spot to stop and lift your hand and shift. So I think we're almost done with these though. All right, I'm going to switch to the other end of the pen, the fat end. I'm a little shaky this morning. I think my coffee's getting to me. All right, next we got the Pentel, the brush sign pen. And lastly is this new one, the Writech sign brush pen. Whew, my hands are shaky this morning. I have my normal amount of coffee, you guys. All right, so the letter C, that was our our letter last week. So we can come back and see where we ended the week, what our C's looked like. Okay. And I can also see what my O's looked like. All right, so let's practice some C's. So starting just below midline, we're gonna do light up, heavy down, light up. At least that's the way I make my C's. If you make your C's differently, practice what you are developing for you. Okay, this is the fine point of the coleograph. A little bit. I'm gonna switch to the fat end, make it double high. Just the Pentel touch again, so a little softer yet. Choking way up. I like these because they have this little ridge right here, and so I can remember that if I don't feel that under the tip of my finger, I'm probably not holding my pen up high enough. Last but not least is the Writech, which for me, I feel like is the softest. So I feel like the softer pens take more control and concentration. So that's why I start with the firmest and work my way down to the softest. But that's all relative. It all has to do with whether you're heavy-handed or not. So hopefully you're trying a different pen or two and you're finding the one that just clicks for you and just makes it seem easier. So choking up, light up, heavy down, light up. Let's go ahead and examine closely the new letter, the letter E, which is going to be no surprise, pretty similar to the C. So here's what we have in the hand lettering book. Similar to the oval stroke motion, but different. Different starting point. Wow, was that awkwardly worded. Extend tail to dotted midline to connect next letter. So just like our C, we're coming out when we need a connector, right? So we're starting here about halfway between the bottom line and the midline, so maybe 25% of the way up. So just like the C, but we're starting over further and coming around and down and up. Pretty standard, no surprises there. Okay, let's look at the other lettering sources that I have pulled. So the Tombow Fudenosuke free download. So here's their E. It's less slanted. There's not much stylistically you can do with that. So, and part of the reason why I include a word that starts with E, a word that has E in the middle, and a word that ends with E is because you need to practice the different ways of connecting to the E. Like, how are you going to connect to some other letter on the left? How are you going to connect to some other letter on the right? And then if you're ending with the E, does your connector look different or the same? For the E, it may not be any different, but further down the road, the letters toward the middle of the year, the end of the first 26 weeks of the year, that get a little bit funky, like the Z, some of those have some interesting things that happen when you try to connect to them in the middle of a word. So just kind of a heads up. But anyway, all right, no surprises here, very, very similar again. Starting in the middle, light up and around, heavy down, and then a light tail. Everybody's starting, I mean, there's just not a lot of difference there. And then last but not least is the Calligraphy Made Easy book. We'll go to the minuscules. Yeah, no big surprises there. So, and I don't think there's an alternate for the lowercase e. Nope. All right, so let's give this a shot, you guys. Starting with my Tombow again, choking way up. I'm going to start about 25% of the way up, so halfway in between these two lines. Light up, heavy down, light up. And so there you can see I didn't quite connect there. Light up, heavy down, light up. Again, I didn't start far enough to the left. There we go. Still looking like C's. Problem is, I'm not going right far enough to give myself space for the loop so that I connect there. So you have to come farther to the right than you think. That was too far. There we go. Boy, are those ugly, you guys. Okay. Calligraph fine point. 3. Dude, I can't see what I'm... Jazzy's right there. I can't see what I'm doing. You guys see what I have to deal with? To the fat end of this pen, and we'll make them double high like the C's. So for this case, since I want to start halfway, I'm going to start at the midpoint this time. I feel like it's a soft pen day for me, you guys. Usually it's a firm pen day, but today seems like my E's just look better with the softer pens. So speaking of, here's the last one, the Writech. Word. We're going to start with the E, the new letter, so we don't have to worry about connecting to it on the left. We're just going to start the word with the E. So I've got my Fudenosuke, the stiffest pen. I'm going to start with my E, so what I just practiced. Light up, come around, heavy down. Now I'm going to try to connect to this tail. And remember, you're coming down and connecting to it with a fat downstroke, so it's a little bit more forgiving than with a thin stroke. So now don't make another E. We're going to start a little bit further to the right. There we go. And obviously I spaced those way too far apart. Now we got to go back a couple days to our O. And so for the O, I start around the 9 o'clock position. Heavy down, light up, heavy down, and end. All right, so let's see if we can space those a little bit better and connect them into one word. So light up, heavy down, light up, heavy down, light up, heavy down, light up, heavy down. There we go. So it does take a bit. I mean, it looks like I have almost 2 E's there, so don't get frustrated with yourself. Practice makes perfect. And obviously, the real word echo has an H in it, and we haven't learned H yet, so we're just improvising for now. All right, let's do one with the fat end. Okay, one page is done. There we go. Next, we're going to put the E at the very end of the word. All right, so choking up, paper at a slant, light up, heavy down, light up, connect our O, heavy down, light up, heavy down. Okay, so now we can almost start our E right where we left off on the O. Light up, heavy down, light up. So that nice fat line makes it easy, makes it a little bit forgiving to connect those two. And I should say, if you're making your O more like the Happy Planner O and you're starting over on the right side and coming up and around instead of on the left side like I am, your connection point will look a little different because you're doing that little, let's see, Happy Planner O looks kind of like this. So you're still going to have a little tail here where you can connect your E, right? Okay. I didn't put that close enough, but you know what I mean? So you kind of got to figure it out, and don't be afraid to change until you get to something that you fall in love with. He just yawned in my face. He's right off camera, you guys. He's like right there he goes. Okay, park it, sit down. We got a little ways to go. You can survive. You won't starve to death. I can't see what I'm doing. Come over here. Sit and look out the window for a little bit. All right, let's do one with the really big. My fins were getting pretty fat there. It's partly due to it being a super soft pen, so. I wasn't talking to you, mister. All right, 2 words to go. Well, words, loosely speaking. So we're gonna do CEO. So we've connected to the E on both sides now. We've started a word with an E and connected to it from the right, and we've ended a word with the E and connected to it on the left. So now we're gonna put the E in the middle and combine those two. So light up, heavy down, light up, heavy down, light up, heavy down. There we go. Okay, now the fine tip cleograph. Come on, baby, we're almost done. Sit and look out the window. There you go. You make a better door than a window, cat. Word, I say, in quotation marks, O-C-E. So we've started, we've ended, and we've had one in the middle. This was just one more combination of the 3 letters that we haven't done yet, so. And I mean, honestly, we had an O in the middle. We had an O at the end, so now we're having an O at the beginning. So just a little repeat, just to keep it all fresh. Oops. Not sure what that was. I blame it on C for cat breaking my concentration. There we go. All right, so let's zoom back out. And I'm gonna grab last year's week that matches this one so we can compare. So one thing I will say, I've spent a lot of time talking about what I dislike about the love letters learning. One of the things I think is the most valuable, the best thing about these planners is the order that they teach you the letters in. So almost every single, I think pretty much every single book I have teaches the letters in alphabetical order, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, so we've spent 3 weeks in a row now on the oval stroke, which really is helping us build consistency. Consistency in the spacing of the letters and just getting good at the oval stroke. I do very much appreciate the order that the Happy Planner lettering planners puts the 26 letters in. I think it makes a heck of a lot of sense. And it, you know, we're not getting all bogged down and confused by ascenders and descenders and different shapes and all kinds of weird things. So I definitely appreciate that. All right, so enough about all that. Here is my lettering practice for last week. So pretty similar. I had us go back and do all 3 letters back then. I don't feel like now that, since all 3 of these are based on the oval stroke, and you can see I was still making my O's a lot different than I ended up with now. So we did the C, we did the E, and then we went into some very small words. And you can see my fat downstroke and thin upstroke, I did not have a lot of variation back then. My O's were kind of all over the place. I hadn't really settled on a style yet, so I got little E's, I got big E's, so big difference there, you guys. I mean, I'm not by far not perfect, especially when I have a cat in my face. But I think it's made a whole lot of difference in my practicing. So I hope you like this video. I hope it convinces you to definitely put a little bit of time, just a little bit of time each week. Do what you can. Each word, again, is purposeful. It puts the new letter in a different place. So even if you can't fill in every single line, maybe just throw a couple of the words in each day of the week just to experience. Try the different combinations, figure out which ones are going to give you trouble, because they won't all give you trouble, but some of them will give you trouble and some of them won't. Focus on the ones that give you trouble, you guys. All right, so it looks like next week is I. And we will get rid of, let's see, let's look here. 16th, so starting on the 17th, yep, we're going to learn the I, so we'll come back and do the E again, and then we'll do the I, and then we'll combine all four, so words beginning with I, words ending with I, and then I's in the middle. And at this point then, since we don't have a warm-up drill, I will probably throw some warm-up down here, and then after that, we can pick a word and just repeat that down here before we start to warm up. Stick with me, you guys. You'll see what I mean, and it'll all make sense to you. So I hope you like this video. I hope you are enjoying and learning and seeing some progress. If you do like this video, please help me spread the word. You guys are doing a great job. I'm really loving that you're tagging me on all your Instagram posts so I can see how you're doing. And please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.